Bit of a track is treacherous if you fall wide through it.
Yeah. I'm just
one of them's going to pop out. One of them's just going to come down the stairs.
They all made it through.
They all made it through. How on earth did they do that? Oh, there's more contact. That's a big send by the number 3.
And he's going to wash out.
Big old set. He's going to wash out. It's funnily enough, it's Toby and the Bandits, and he really is acting like a bandit right now. He's properly sent it. And to be fair, that kart just coming back on, I think, was slick and tired, and they were looking at that thinking, no thanks, I am fine where I am. I don't want anything to do with that. There's the number 1 machine making its way back out. That's Team Hard.
Yep, so
after their contact one.
Yep, that'll be Chaz Draycott up in there. There's a little bit of contact from the number 4, Kieran Racing, who wanted to move down the inside, being in 2nd place, and he's trying to find the grip out there. But then you see, going wide, going through the side sweep Pullmans, and then has the line.
That was brilliant. He just disappeared from shots, suddenly reappeared, flying through our camera shot there, disappearing down the inside of the teams in front. That was excellent stuff. Absolutely excellent.
And 1322 Northeast have just got past Senior Frogs there. That was for position for 2nd place in the rookie class. So they make their way through in towards Cap Curve, and I have a feeling Senior Frogs are not going to let that go lying down.
No, they definitely broke that one. Oh my goodness. That was bottom of the... I've got splinters off the bottom of the barrel. Well, scraped to try and get that.
If the bar's being set that low, I didn't realise.
Lovely, clear pit lane, let's go.
That was good, that, Kieran. I feel like I deserved that. Yeah. And we've had a track warning, track limits warning.
Track warning.
I can't walk.
Warning, track.
Yeah, we've just had a warning that Neil's on the track. It's just been a warning. That's just in general.
You don't have a seat in
track. I'm at that point of the stint, I can't read. We know they were doing well. I'm waiting to see when the timer changes for Nameless to put a lap on everybody. Obviously, we're not doing sub 50-second laps anymore. They're all over a minute, almost a minute 10 in most cases. So there will be a little bit more time needed for them to get that lap ahead of 2nd place on the board. They may be lapping Dab Motorsport very soon, though. Because the pace is still sensational for Nameless Motorsport.
Yeah, as named by Jack Goldsmith and co. About how they wanted to come up with a new name with a clean slate to go with. They couldn't think of a name, so they went with Nameless. Contact there. Yeah. From the number 7, we saw the Slideman sliding into that one. Liam Carter is, who's trying to find a way past the number 9 of the Luck of the Legends and Neil. It's not for position. It's a chance to get back on the same lap. Yes, it is. There's a chance here for the number 7 Slideman, Liam Carter, to try and get back onto the same lap as Neil, Luck of the Legends and Neil. I just love it. Sorry, that's one of the best teams out there. Luck of the Legends and Neil.
Yeah. Neil.
And if anything goes wrong, they just blame Neil.
Yeah, it's a good tactic. It's like the bloke from work that just wanted to tag along with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
They just thought, oh God, Neil. I'm sure Neil's a lovely bloke and he's having a great time. This is not meant in any reflection on actual Neil.
I assume it's Neil Vincent as
it is
post on the entry list. Yeah, if you're listening, the whole team will blame it on you, and you can blame us for them blaming it on you.
Yeah,
it's a vicious circle.
It is a very vicious circle. Go for an interview if you want.
Yeah, say hi. Make yourself a Luck of the Legend.
Yeah, we'll promote it. They're still going for it down the inside. The 7 machine there, fantastic stuff on the slide then. They're trying to catch up with Rango with Red Mist, and it's a shame about Rango. Seems they were really up there. I mean, you can tell by the fact they had the fastest lap of the race at 48.848, set on lap 51. Sorry, I was going to say we're now on lap 274. Yeah. You're getting a massage.
You are.
Dead nice.
Yeah, from James here. Oh, he's gone full into it.
Actually, yeah.
He ghosted me though.
I think it's because he knows that I'm going to go in a minute.
Oh, I see. Oh, oh, bless.
Oh, well, there's only a few minutes left before. As he looks at Reeve intently before we welcome him back. James isn't letting me go, apparently he's going to lock the door. I'm not able to get out of it. I'll just jump off the balcony, I'm fine.
Don't take that out of commentating.
No, it's not that high. No, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a great time.
I didn't realise sharing a box with me was that bad, Chaz.
It's the jumper, Kieran.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I'm joking. It's what a great stint this has been, though. I've really enjoyed this so far. It's so much fun, this event, and at the end of the day, you know, we're here to embody that, everybody. We're here to have a good time, and hopefully, through reflection of that, hope that you all have a good time as well. We hope that you all enjoy watching. Thank you to those of you that have stuck with us so far. I know there are some real die-hard fans of this event and certain teams that they will stick with us through the whole event. They'll have it on all the way through. Don't forget the commentary will be on all the way through as well. As mentioned, I'll be shooting off in just a couple of minutes' time, and we'll bring Reeve on. He will join Kieran for a couple of hours until, well, Kieran's on till 11, and then we have Reeve on till midnight. We've got number 28, Slipped and Tired, once again behind, but safe rejoin. They waited till the track was clear. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, it's selfless stuff sometimes when you have a moment, because out of frustration you could just want to stamp on the throttle to get straight back into the race. Yeah, but it's very easy to do that, and it's good to see that the patience still there. Still. Well, it's just inevitable, isn't he, Steve?
He is inevitable. But there we go.
There's that lunge flipping.
That's a lunge and a half.
Inevitable. What was that?
That was the spicy boys there.
Whoa! That was beyond spicy. That was the full sriracha. That was brilliant.
Now I'm trying to think if that's Albus, because, and I think it is Albus 001 on YouTube, who I was having a chat to before the race, and he was saying every one of his team members have got their lids in for redesign. They're all designed really nicely. His one's currently in for design, but for this one he's decided to go for a white lid and just go for the red stripes all the way around, Senna-esque kind of.
See, that's the thing though. Like, there's so many helmet designs now that are like that.
Yes.
Way too busy with these pointy shapes. Don't get me wrong, they look great.
I mean, you've just called out. That's not really fun or fair.
No, but there's so many of them that have all these elements to them. It's hard to see an identity from them now. I was praising Yuki Tsunoda the other day for his helmet designs, because he's got this gorgeous sort of leaf design all over it. It's absolutely beautiful and it's unique. And it really looks the part. I know, sure, if a design is simple, then it's probably harder to stand out, but I'd love to see the return of really simplistic helmet designs like that.
Yeah, I think there is an art to them as well.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate the art that goes into modern day helmets that are all so busy and so much going on.
For example, you see Mika Häkkinen, that sort of blend of
favourite F1 driver of all time, so carry on.
Yeah, so his helmet livery is probably one of the most recognisable ever. You've got Jackie Stewart, who had the tartan stripe across. All of those are so recognisable, and you look at them and you think, oh yeah, that's this driver.
I don't want to end my stint with something really morbid. I was watching something on Mika Häkkinen a while ago, and did you know that he had a house built in Paris, and when he moved there, he had like a massive trophy room, all of his trophies. He bought a load of them from McLaren, I believe, and all of his race suits, helmets, all sorts. And the house burnt down and destroyed all of it. He had no mementos from that outside of what was still owned by McLaren. Absolutely devastating. He's my favourite driver of all time, Mika Häkkinen. So funny, so cool, calm, collected. What a driver he was. And the fact that he took on Schumacher to beat
and it's the fact that Schumacher said he was the only driver
he ever
fielded was Häkkinen.
Yeah, but I think it's more the reverse psychology. Mika was never scary. No. It's just he was never phased.
Yeah, by anything. And what could have been? I think this is going to be Mika Häkkinen at 95, and I think I'm happy to be corrected on that big crash.
Yes.
Yeah, 95. Yeah. So and you just sort of think, did that contribute to the fact that he took that sabbatical? He technically is on a sabbatical, so technically could see him in a car at any point. He never retired. He just took a sabbatical.
Well, he did. Was it the Suzuka 10 Hours recently in the GT3 car, McLaren 720S GT3 in Japan? Yeah, a gorgeous livery, and he raced in that only maybe 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
not too long ago. Anyway, I'm not meaning to sound like I'm clock watching here, but I've just checked the time, and it has just gone bang on 7 o'clock. So, unfortunately, everybody, some of you may think, fortunately, I'm going to sign off for now. I will be back with you at 2 a.m. Thank you very much, Kieran. Thank you to Yousuf as well, and everyone that's been on the stream so far. Hope you continue to enjoy it, and I will bring on our wonderful co-commentator, Reeve, in just a moment.
Cheers, Kieran. Thank you, Chaz, and I'll see you bright and early at 6 a.m. when you've gone through the night shift. It'll be interesting to see what state you're in at that point. But just in the, you saw in the pit lane there, that was the number 20, as you see there, it's the 28. That is Slick and Tired there. But the number 20, signed, sealed and delivered, held in the pit lane there, in the fuel lane, because you can only fuel one car at a time. That's all the team down in the pit lane can do, is fuel one cart at a time. So if you're stuck in a queue, that's tough. You can't be wheeled out, you have to wait your turn. And it's an age to be able to get yourself out there. And it just takes forever. It feels like it goes on forever. It's just nothing you can do. I'm happy to say, though, that we've had our own change. And Reeve Taylor joins me in the comments. Hello, Reeve.
Hello there, Kieran. That's change of guard.
Yeah. Changing of the guard?
Yeah. Couple of ground rules. I won't call you love.
Okay. If you don't call the guard.
I won't. I'll just stick to Kieran. I think that's me.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think that works.
Well, Chaz was very, very irritable on that. It's only because Chaz was the guard. That's what.
Oh, I see.
You see? There you go. Recovered it. All right. Well, you join us here, Nameless, leading the way now by 10 seconds. And that is because we've got a load of pit stops heading our way. We've got Kent, Accelerate Kent Brewery Racing, who are due a pit stop. They've been out on circuit for about 2 hours 25 minutes. Down Motorsport, also 2 hours 19. So we're getting into that period now where the pit stops start happening again for the top teams as they make their way through. As sitting out on 16, that is Elite Discos Racing, heading their way through the S's. And Reeve, it's with you in the box. We've never shared a commentary box, so this is interesting.
No, we haven't. And to continue on the F1 chat, it's much like a Formula 1 current state of mode. If you ignore the person in P1, there's a fantastic battle brewing, as you say, with those pit stops, because we have Accelerate, we have Dab Motorsport, all ready for a bit of a strategy battle coming up.
Use my argument against me. You're in my good books. That's good. 27 into the pits then, as we see Bandito Delito into this. And I believe that is Gareth Taylor, who is jumping out of the cart, fellow commentator, who is given endurance racing a try. But yeah, pretty good stint. Where are the they are 29th at the moment. Some way off, but you know, those lap times 1 minute 17, it is tough out there, especially if you've never driven at Buckmore Park, which Gareth never has, and driven in a long stint, which I think he never has either. So it's fair play to him.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, or trial by water. I can't work out which one it is. Why not both? Why not both?
You know, it's interesting to see just how treacherous it is out there, particularly while I was watching along when we were in that kind of greasy, changeable phase. But it is still difficult now. One of the points I've noticed is, in the dry, your two big opportunities for a good bit of pace here are running through Garda or that run out the second hairpin, running through the S's down towards the back end of the track.
Yeah.
You don't have that in the wet, because if you try and push on the exit of the second hairpin through the S's, you are going to find yourself very quickly off the left-hand side of the circuit and into a barrier. So it's tricky out there.
It is so tricky, and it's just become a staple of the Buckmore 24-hour, is that there is always rain. No matter what, it's inevitable. There will be rain at some point. As there was a visor going out to Elite Discos, and that's normally because the visor's too high up. So it's a case that they might have just got out there with the visor all the way up, and it's amazing that you can't feel when the adrenaline starts going through you. You would think, yeah, all those splashes of water will be going into your eyes, but no. It's just get the blinkers on and you start racing, and you completely forget that your visor's up and you've got the air flowing through. You just completely forget. Sometimes you just need that visual warning of, by the way, you do know your visor's up, don't you?
Yes, I've found in the past as well, in the little bit of endurance racing that I have done. I imagine it's the case in the Elite Discos car, but if, like myself, you are incredibly unfit,
yes,
you actually do need to run the visor quite high, because you end up panting so much in the car that you will just miss up the visor. And in these kind of humid conditions that we've got here, those visors are going to want to be cracked a little bit at least.
I mean, it's so tricky out there on those slick tyres, and we'll see.
I brought my technology curse with me.
Oh no, that's the one thing we didn't need. I brought my commentator curse, you've brought that. It's a recipe for disaster, really, isn't it? Oh dear.
I've been carrying it with me the entire day. I was on the hard shoulder club, and my indicator fell out of my car. I just heard it, just kind of...
What, the stalk or the actual bolt?
No, like the actual unit out of the front of the... I was driving down the M56 at like 6 in the morning, and then heard a clonk, and then...
I mean, it's all
That's
things...
not supposed to be there.
Yeah, they're all things to keep you on your toes, aren't they, really?
Oh, as we see the number 8 there down the inside. That was a very brave move given the conditions, but worked well.
Worked well. It's one of those where it's a good move. It's just not for position, but they won't care. They're drivers. They're racing drivers. If any move happens out on track, doesn't matter if it's for the lead, if it's for making 13 laps on someone instead of 12, they'll rate themselves. It was a good move.
It is fascinating to see just how quickly this race turns on its head after we had that phase of black flags where we've gone from so much of the field being actually quite close for the first half an hour to all of a sudden we have the traditional kind of endurance.
Yeah, well, when it comes to sort of dry weather racing, you've got a lot of quick drivers out there, and because they had this rain on the radar, that wasn't going to relent at any point. They did put out their best dry weather drivers just to make sure they keep up the pack. Maybe the plan was to try and break away, it just never did. The top two started to break away and then were reeled in because they decided to squabble over themselves. But then the rain comes in, you add a splash of water to the track, and it just shakes things up very, very nicely. DAB Motorsport are closing in, nameless. Unfortunately for DAB Motorsport though, they are still a pit stop behind, so they will be due a pit stop in shortly because Nameless have only just emerged from pit stop. They're 9 minutes into their stint, so really they're going to be racing the only way is Brentwood at the moment, who are currently 4th at this time. And I'm just trying to work out what the gap between them is. It's about half a lap, maybe slightly more.
Slightly ominous comment there. Someone's been waiting all day to hear my silky voice, apparently. That's
All day.
That's commitment, that is, yeah.
That's huge commitment. And they're waiting for Reeve at the moment, so that's how you know you've made it. Someone waiting for your voice in particular.
Not nice.
Well, it means something to somebody, and we'll leave it there. Nameless still leading the way then. The only way is Brentwood, currently 4th at the moment, as we're seeing two wide action going through, but there's a spinner and a little bit of a contact there. Now that was the number 3, that was Tony and the Bandits, and the 23 involved in that as well, so that was MPMC, and it was a case of, that was MPMC being left not a lot of room going through there, and because of that they lost the grip, spun then into the number 3, so it was a bit of a, I don't know if you call that karma, but it was certainly a little bit of, again, it's not payback because it was unintentional.
No, it's the margins are so fine in these sort of conditions. I mean, it's not like you can't see the number 23 car. So
no.
the driver in there is luminescent, glow in the dark. It'll be very useful in about an hour or so.
Oh yeah. But yellow's in the S's at the moment. That goes all the way up to the entry in towards Symes Sweep. And I wonder if that's just a little bit of perhaps. Oh, there's a bit of a spin. There's 2 cars involved. That was TRX Motorsport, the number 6. I think that was Fat and Furious, the number 15 there. Now, didn't quite see if they came together, or if they, what can be the case, a simultaneous pirouette.
Yes, we're in the 105, 107. Still looking like it's still a little bit of rain coming down here. Yeah,
we see that just in the S's on the outside. The rain is still falling here at Buckmore Park. And whether it's a driver getting ready or a driver leaving the field, we have a driver getting ready here for Quadrant. It is for Quadrant, yes, you're right. And can we work out who that's going to be? Is that? They did bring a secret weapon in Clement Novalak. They did.
French/Swiss racing driver, I believe.
Yeah, he is on the entry list, you know. But you've also got, I think, Max Futrell, James Blair, Ben Daly. Niran, I think, has already been out on the circuit. So too is Arav. Rhea, I think, started this race. I don't think we've seen Matt Davis out on track at the moment. He's done quite a bit as the sort of team principal. I don't think he's been out in the car just yet. It's just a case of trying to figure out who it is.
I have helmet details. We've already had helmet chat, so I'll tell you about his house.
Okay. You go on with that. Absolutely.
I don't have helmet details.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Tell you what though, Steve, Super GT has put in a great stint there.
Yeah, fantastic job.
Really quick lap times going up there as they have their fuel stop now. How long did they make it out there? They made 2 hours 7 minutes. So they're told in the briefing the fuel tanks will last roughly 2 hours. They may last less. They may last more. That's your decision to come out with there. And the driver change happens, and it's going to be a black flag there for the number 3, Toby and the Bandits. For that, I assume it's going to be the incident through the S's. I didn't see any other. We haven't seen any other. It could have been another one, but that's what we've seen. The number 30 now gets back out onto track. Quadrant looking to make up lost ground at the moment. They're currently running 25th over.
Yeah, fantastic in there from Super GT, Mr. Steve Brown there. Because they were quite a ways off. I'm sure they won't mind me saying that, but they Steve's done a stellar job to bring them back into the mix a little bit more.
Chat's confirmed that it is Clem. It's Clement Novalak who's out onto the car. I did wonder when they bring out their secret weapon in a former Formula 2 driver, and that's exactly what they've done. So out on circuit he goes, looking to get some laps underneath, and for an F2 driver, this sort of thing, you know, he'll adapt to the track very quickly. He'll know slick tyres on a slightly wet track. He'll know there's still a lot of grip out there.
Bit of a bump.
little bit of bump.
Bit of a bump, just a kiss. That's all. And a sorry as well. There you go.
Oh. So maybe only a contact warning.
Here we have a bit of a group of cars battling it out here into the first number 8. Fantastic working their way through the Euro NFS.
So accelerate. Kent Brewery Racing still due a pit stop. Who is into the pits right now is Dab Motorsport. So they're into the pits for their, I assume, well, fuel stop, and I assume they're going to have a driver change as well. You start to find towards the top end, they'll do their driver changes at the fuel stop, just to make sure that they lose the least amount of time in the pit stops. And of course, everyone has to sort of put in a fair share in the driving's end, to make sure that you basically share out the driving time as fairly as possible, really. There's Accelerate Kent Brewery up the inside there of the number 8 car. That is Burrow 11 NFS, and I think a lap separates them now. It might even be 2 laps now that separate them. But they make their way through, and it's really drivers finding a rhythm now and making sure they don't make those silly mistakes, especially if you're running at the top of the order. And just making sure you keep your head down.
As you and Chaz were discussing before, it's so easy sometimes to get caught up in the mix of battle. So those guys in the Accelerate Kent Brewery cars don't want to get too focused on that battle out there, even though they're on different laps. Don't want to get too focused up on fighting for track position, because as we say, they're at the very end of their stint. They must be coming it fine on fuel now.
Yeah.
And we don't want another leading car having to be pushed round the circuit.
The thing is, though, in the wet, the fuel lasts longer because you're using less time on the throttle. So in theory, you use less fuel. So
to be fair, I've had a peek outside before, and some of the drifts I've been seeing, I don't think people are letting off the gas that much.
No. But it is that case. We'll see whether they do head into the pit lane or not. Dab Motorsport, I have to say, what a stunning recovery drive it's been so far. They're currently 3rd at the moment, and they've just made a stop as well. So they are doing a fantastic job, considering they had run out of fuel just past the start-finish line when they came in for their stop, for a fuel stop, and were told to go round because they entered the pit lane too hot, too fast.
And then ran out of fuel.
So they timed it perfectly. Unfortunately, the pit entry wasn't perfect, so they had to go back round. But a stunning recovery drive from them so far. And I wonder how much, that in itself, when it comes to 24 hours, sometimes you are bound to have something go wrong. For Dab Motorsport, it's running out of fuel. Some teams would, lose that little bit of an edge. They'll start to sort of let the head drop a little bit. But I have to commend them because they've kept themselves together. They've realised it's very early in the race. A lot can still happen. They're within 45 seconds of the leaders now. Incredible stuff from Dab Motorsport.
Yeah, brilliant drive. That's the thing, an endurance event is so much less about out-and-out raw quality-based single lap gunning it. It's much more, as you say, stringing together a competent race and making sure that you keep a level head and you look after the kart and the teams behind you, and you've planned every stint, every single little aspect of it. If you do that, you're guaranteed a fairly decent result, unless you have a very unfortunate incident, which, like a mechanical, but the fleet here is brand new and is maintained to very high standards.
And if you are Dab Motorsport as well, you'll be thinking, you know what? We've got our little incident out of the way.
Yeah, that's it now.
Nothing more can go wrong for us.
That's how it works.
That is how it works. And if you're going to have a thing where you run out of fuel, you want it at the start, because then you have so much time to make up the lost time that you lost. I've said lost a lot. Reeve, say something other than lost for me.
Well, now I just want to say lost.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm slightly distracted by Chaz's return to the couple box with what I presume is chicken base.
Yes.
It smells incredible. It's dinner. I'm very much distracted by it. It smells amazing.
Very much distracted by food.
Yes.
Those are words I could live by. That is for sure. That is for sure.
You've already eaten my dinner. Here's some biscuits.
You've eaten your dinner. I thought you were just pointing to the fact that you were having biscuits for dinner. That would have been quite something.
No, that has been. I'm not mention the series because we've been asked to not mention the BUKC too many times. But there we go. That is how you do it on a. That is how you do it in that series.
Very good.
I think the final round. You know, we have often teams. And I don't know if it's going to happen this one before. We get given tributes to alleviate the commentators' curse. We get given food.
Yes.
Usually Jaffa cakes.
It is a
last
tradition.
round we got beer.
We actually had a cake for the start of the race last year.
That's
good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so for the final round of that series, I was fueled off Jaffa cakes and beer all day.
Very nice.
Great.
The beer's an interesting issue.
Got to drive tomorrow.
Yeah, so have I. So have I. Well, a bit of a spin in the background there. That's the number 20. That's signed, sealed, and delivered. Who get themselves back underway. Just a little bit of lost time there. And make their way on their way once again. And I will have a look at my trusty weather app just to see what the situation is right now. I can just have a look and see it is still raining. And it will be raining.
Info.
Yeah, we can all see that one, so that's good. But I've got it down that the rain's meant to stop at 10. It's meant to rain until then. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes, because what it is, it's a weather front that's coming over from France and passes over the circuit.
It's time for meteorology.
Absolutely. Well, you need this in a 24-hour. You need meteorology. It's passing over from France, over Buckmore Park. This is what this weather front we're experiencing right now. Now, I've got it on my trusty weather app that it's meant to end at 10 o'clock. Now, it's been pretty decent at guessing when the rain will start. It did say a time ago rain would start in 5 minutes, but we had that 20-25 minute period where it was spitting and it wasn't actually raining. So take that with a pinch of salt. Don't add it to your strategy, and I will not be held responsible for any strategies that are butchered because I said the rain might stop at 10.
As we know, Buckmore Park lives exclusively in its own little climate zone.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
No one knows how or why or how it works or what deity was offended at the creation of Buckmore Park, but it has its own little climate zone.
It really does. It really does.
So.
And the fact of the matter is as well, because you've got now what we're seeing in towards Simon Street and Port, you're actually heading downhill. And you sort of think the altitude change can't be that much. Just the circuit
have some lights.
We have the circuit lights on now.
I was very confused on it. I looked over my left shoulder, and then we had our indoor lights as well for the interview stage. I was like, wow,
oh, that's bright.
Yeah,
that's brighter than I thought. I'm being compared to Chaz, to Michael Fish. I will not be saying there will be no great storm. That's what I was saying. Apparently we had some words that there's going to be rain. I can tell you now there isn't. Cue the rain.
One of the interesting things as well, later on into the night, even if the rain does clear up, as we can see just how much spray there is on the inside of the circuit off the racing line. We're running these cars on slick tyres. They're not going to want to clear off that rain very well. Now, Buckmore is on a bit of a slant, which helps.
Yes.
But it's also going to be quite cold overnight, obviously, so
absolutely
that rain is going to persist for quite a while.
Yeah, and I've driven on a track like this. In fact, I've driven one of these hire cars, not the 24-hour, I'm not brave enough for that, but in these treacherous conditions where it's raining, it might stop raining, but once you're into the night time, the track takes a long time to actually dry out. For a dry line to form, you do really need the light on the circuit to help clear the water. And as you say, because we're on slick tyres, the water isn't really being cleared that much.
Lemons.
There are lemons.
Zesty lemons.
That can only be Zesty Drake Racing, who are
my favourite team name.
Who are around. There they are.
I get the meme.
All in high spirits. And Tom, the team leader there, having a coffee and warming up, which is weird to say in April. You know, I expected there to be April showers because, you know, next month, May flowers. But it's cold. It is not warm out there.
No, it is absolutely freezing.
Just have a look and see. Well, it's 10 degrees. Put it this way. It's 10 degrees.
There's no way it's 10 degrees.
Well, this is what I was just about to say. 10 degrees, but apparently it's supposed to feel like 4. And that would explain a lot.
Yes. Yeah, I'm having confirmation. Well, from my weather station that we've got over here, with two invented weather chat.
Look, it's like the Venn diagram where we have 2 weather stations. It's all good, you know. We've got in chat as well about who Michael Fish was. 1986. I didn't. You know they say prepare for anything in commentary. I wasn't expecting this, but I will go.
You've
for
become a historian.
I know. I have.
Formula 1 in 1995. That was actually in 1996, and now.
Yeah. Michael Fish. His most famous weather gone wrong was 1986, where we had the Great Storm afterwards. And the bit he said on BBC the night before was, we've had a woman call in about a storm that's supposed to happen overnight, but I can tell you now, there isn't. What happened the next day was the Great Storm of 1986 in England, and Michael Fish, unfortunately, has never been able to let that be lived down, unfortunately. But it's one of the great moments from Michael Fish, and we all love it because normally he got the weather wrong. But how accurate could the weather be in 1986? Like, we struggle with predicting the weather now, let alone... Wow, that is nearly 40 years ago. Oh, wow. I thought it was 30. I was just fully about to say 30 then. It's 40. Wow, okay, moving on.
None of us were born then, but that still makes us feel old.
Yeah. How is that 40 years ago? Sorry to anybody who's listening in who's...
Yeah, we've already got a few people who are, I think, now having some type of crisis.
I'm pretty sure 86, 87... It was definitely 80s. I know that much.
Milk or cereal first? Well, where's Yousuf when we need him?
Yeah, that's
Mr.
true.
Milky Cereal.
Yeah,
that is literally his commentary name.
That will literally be his domain to answer that one.
Yeah.
The only one.
Well, we know where Yousuf is. He's
out on track.
He's out there.
Yeah, he is. So
how is Yousuf getting on? Let's bully him. Sorry, let's check on him. We were instructed to bully him by producer James.
Oh, so. Yes, of course. No, we were just saying, James, that Yousuf's out on track now. Yeah, so we were told by you to sort of...
And Chaz.
Yes. And Chaz to just give him an elbow.
And Yousuf himself.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, let's find him. Sounds good. All right, then let's find him. He'll be in the number 10 cart.
Yes.
Out there on circuit.
In that mix for the lead battle, of course.
Yes, 2 laps away from the lead battle, but that's what we're looking at, 2 minutes roughly, maybe 2 minutes 20 away, which again in the grand scheme of things isn't that long. If you have someone who has a problem up ahead, a car that has a problem up ahead, that's a position.
Let's think how much has already happened in this race.
Yeah.
We have 19 hours to go.
We do indeed.
We're just over 1/6 of the way in.
Yeah, it's been really good fun, as it always is. Accelerate Kenbrew Racing into the pits then from second place, so they will rejoin. We'll see where they emerge in the not too distant future. Dan Motorsport in third place though, and it's the only way is Brentwood rounding off the top 4. I'm getting word in chat that it was 1987. If that's the case, if I'm 1 year out, I'm devastated because I went in there with such confidence, and yeah, I'll emerge with egg on my face. But that's never different. 21 there is fully steamed up. Can you see it?
Oh wow!
21.
Yeah, that I wouldn't be able to.
Belly Boys Racing there. Yeah, that has fully steamed up, hasn't it? And that's a case of, as you said, the panting. If you don't quite get the breathing under control, and the visor steams up, then you have to open it up, which is a minefield in itself to try and bring up the visor, maybe give it a wipe to clear the steam,
the windscreen wiper technique.
Yeah, exactly. And you just never want it to be that way. There is Yousuf out on track. Yousuf bin-Suhayl from the commentary box out onto track. There he is. How's he doing out there?
We should have put a radio in, isn't it?
We should have done it. You know how they have like they had that very short trial in Formula 1?
Yes.
Interview of driver of the day. Bring that with Yousuf, and we'll see how he gets on. But there is our fellow commentator, currently driving the car that's in 6th place, the EKS All-Stars, and a team headed up by Luke Battersby, who is very familiar to the track of Buckmore Park. You could say he knows it like the back of his hand. He's done so many laps around here, progressed through the junior club at this circuit as well, so he very much knows the circuit very, very well indeed. The rain still falling here at Buckmore Park, and we are approaching hour number 6. It's not very far away, Kieran McGinley here, alongside Reeve Taylor, as we're heading towards the top of the hour. And Reeve, now we have Accelerate Kenbrew Racing, who have emerged just ahead of Dan Motorsport after those pit stops, and they are not separated by a lot, about a second. The number 4 and the number 5 car pretty much sharing that same bit of track.
No, it could have been much worse. The margins are so fine when it comes to these pit stops. You think, oh, you know, in the world of Formula 1, you know, the little tenths here and there add up, but no, even in endurance karting, every little detail helps.
Yeah.
That absolutely, that run and that often painful jump back into the kart can make or break your race.
I've actually, in an endurance race, fallen out of a car because I went to get out and my foot got caught on something. And so I tripped over, tried to style it out with a roll.
Oh.
I don't think anybody noticed, but there we go. There is a bit of a team brief if you've ever had one. Sheltering as well. That is Toby and the Bandits, who Chaz had a chat to earlier on the grid walk. And they are just sheltering is the correct word for that, I would say. Making sure they have the cover, and let's face it, it's not warm out there either. Wrapped up.
Well, I do now say I've spent the past few hours kind of confused why everyone's been saying, oh, it's absolutely lovely and toasty in here in the commentary box. Well, I'm sat here with my coat on, feeling a little bit cold, but now I've sat by the computers and the lights, I can now see what you mean.
Yes, absolutely. It's cold out there. That is for sure. There is Yousuf bin-Suhayl making his way through the S's now, and how are his lap times going? We keep saying this. Let's have a look. That's lapping at the moment. 1 minute 7.7. So he's roughly matching the lap times from Nameless. It's about 2-3 tenths in it at the moment, so very much matching the pace of our leaders at the moment. Looks like there's possibly yellow flags. That would have been why Yousuf raised his hand there. They seem to have cleared just as quickly as he entered the zone there, but making his way through in towards Garda. And it's a 63-second lead that Nameless has over Accelerate Kent Brewer Racing. And it's always fun with an endurance race because you have all the different strategies going on, the different battles, you know, culminating out on circuit, the different pit stops, what you do at each pit stop, which driver goes out, and it's not until you get to the final stint, so you look at maybe the final 90 minutes, that you start to understand, here's who's in the battle for 5th place, here's in the battle for 15th, and it all starts to become clear. Those strategies now start to culminate into the final stint, and that's still about 18 hours away.
Having a look as well at the rookie battle, still being led by Ditch Finders. Senior Frogs diving into the pits about 46 minutes ago, currently 4th in the rookies race. Seeing plenty of support for the Senior Frogs, of course, in the YouTube chat. A few people saying that they'll be trying to hang in through the night, which is dedication from the fans as well. I was speaking to I was actually having a very brief, while I was grabbing mine, and have a very brief chat with Harry while I was grabbing lunch, and he was saying a few of those guys are planning on trying to stay up and do an all-nighter as well, which is very supportive but very brave.
Yes, but I don't think sleep deprivation and then getting behind the wheel of a cart is the greatest idea. Yeah. Nevertheless, it's a 24-hour, so I guess what will be will be. I'm having a look at the last laptop that Accelerate made over Dab Motorsport. Dab Motorsport closed in about 6 tenths on that last lap. Oh no, sorry, no, I've read that wrong. They lost 2 seconds on that last lap. I really did read that wrong, but there we go. But Accelerate Kent Brewer Racing really on charge at the moment. Their last lap time 106.8. It's about a tenth and a half slower than Nameless Motorsport at this moment in time. But again, they're on slightly different strategies at this point. There's about half hour between Nameless and Accelerate Kent Brewer Racing visiting the pit lane. So yeah, it's slightly different strategies, and again, it's going to be a case of waiting and seeing how it all unfolds. There's still plenty of action. There's a bit of contact in the background there. Definitely the 24 involved in that one. So that was 1322 Racing Northeast, who are in a battle right now to try and get themselves up and away at the top of the rookie class. They were up there. They are 3rd in class at the moment.
Plenty of support as well for the 1322 crew as well in the chat. They've had a fair old journey down here, haven't they?
They have. They really have. They really are. I mean, I was speaking to Ruffy earlier on about he's never raced here. He's never done a 24-hour, and it's just a case of, well, see how we do. And they're 3rd rookie class at the moment.
Good effort.
It's a very good effort. Very, very good effort.
Was that a puddle lap?
It is.
Yeah, the puddle was changing the reflection of the light though. I thought there was a bit of barrier almost in the middle of the track. Oh, we're all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are now into hour number 6. And it's time for a top of the hour update then. It's Nameless Motorsport at the top then, Accelerate Kent Brewer Racing rounding off 2nd place, Dab Motorsport in 3rd, with The Only Way is Broken in 4th place. Burrow 11 NFS are currently 5th place, EKS All-Stars are 6th place, then it's TRX Motorsport Elite in 7th place, Ditch Finders are in 8th place, leading the rookie class, 9th place overall, 2nd in class are Zesty Dream Racing. Rounding off the top 10 is the number 1 car team, ARD, who are 8th in class, and then 3rd in the rookie class, 1322 Racing Northeast in the 11th spot. 12th spot is the number 29, the Senor Frogs, who are currently 4th in class, and 13th overall. 5th in class is number 17, Formula None. And that's just sort of top 15, and that's including the top 5 of each class. Heading into hour number 6.
311 laps down for the race leader. What we expect. I'm going to say we'll place a bet, but I'm going to guesstimate 1,580 laps.
Okay. I would say
maybe less. I'm going to say
2022 had, I think, 1,600 laps. 2023, I'm trying to think last year. I think last year had fewer laps.
And I think we're going to have more wet weather running.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have about 1,300.
Okay.
I
might readjust my estimate then. I'll say 1,450.
1,450. That's not a bad guess, to be fair. I mean, we're looking at the lap times now. We're looking at 63 seconds per lap. So
I wasn't expecting to bring maths into it.
Yeah, I know.
That's highbrow and intellectual.
Yeah, it stops there though, because they've got to work out how many minutes are in 24 hours. That's just not happening. Not happening at all. Someone in chat will get it before me. It's 60 times 24.
Yeah.
Which is maths.
If only
there was a calculator.
These small devices had been invented that can do mathematics.
Is that 1440?
I think. Yeah, you're on the nose.
Okay.
1440.
All right. There you go. See, maths wasn't so bad, everybody. It's okay. We got there in the end.
Why did we need to work that out? I can't remember.
I'll never bring up maths again. Don't worry. Well, we know it was 1440, so if we're taking, let's say it's a minute a lap, it's just over. So you're looking at maybe 1,300, 1,350. Considering we had dry running at the start and they were all sort of sub 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So you take that into account for the first, I want to say 45, 50 minutes. Yeah, we got in chat there. 1,300 laps, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty solid guesses, I think. 1,300. I think chat is right. It's a good.
Well, they're all saying that because they're clearly fans of the northeastern team.
Someone said yes in chat, at least 2 minutes in 24 hours. You are correct. You're technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. Oh, dearie me. Hour number 6, here we are. Oh. We are approaching. End of this hour will be
what we're about to see Yousuf living up to his name.
Yes.
As Andrew Mather put it. Club 100's most penalised driver, I think, was it last time?
Oh, you've been waiting. You've been itching to get that stat. I have. You've really been itching to get that stat in. Oh, dearie me. Reeve's just got the biggest, cheesiest grin on his face now that he's dropped that fact.
Had to.
Oh, dear.
I'm only smiling because I can't drive either. I mean, there's a reason why I now talk about it. I don't really take part in it anymore.
Same here.
Apart from next month when I will be at the other 24-hour big karting event that happens in this country.
Oh, dearie me. Well, the rain continues to fall here at Buckmore Park. Don't let that dampen the spirits out here. The clouds also make it pretty dark up there, so the circuit lights are illuminated, and that means that normally in the briefings for the race director, it is communicated that as soon as the track lights come on, there are no more tinted visors until those lights come back off. So you'll see clear visors all the way through. So from here on in, you should see all the eyes of the drivers as they look for the apexes, or in any case, trying to look for a whiteboard telling them when to pit in. Either way, they'll be looking to see if they can find that. As there is the number 30 quadricar, that's Clement Novalak, who is racing out there, just trying to find some grip. Going through in towards Gala then, that's Toby and the Bandits who managed to find a position. I say a position, it wasn't a position. It wasn't a position for position. No, that's not good England, Kieran. Try again. You know what?
There for the quadrant team. Yeah. Just quickly moving on.
Yeah, it's just move on.
I'm just letting your brain reboot.
Yeah. Give me the Control-Alt-Delete.
Yep.
System update, and I'll be back with you soon.
I've been asked to say 32. I don't know why.
Well, why?
I feel like I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, that's going to go against you. A track limit warning
because
for...
they can hear the bit of northern.
Track limit warning going out to the number 3 there. I think that is supposed to be Racing. It's supposed to be Toby and the Bandits. It came up as Undefined, which was quite funny. Unless they've changed their team name to Undefined.
That's a good strategy, actually.
It's a good strategy.
Obviously, we've discussed how every 3 hours penalties get reset, but is there any adjustment in the regulations for changing your name, or you then allow another set of...
Well, what we're doing as well, Reeve, is we're approaching the 6th hour, the end of the 6th hour, which at the end of this, when we hit 18 hours to go, that is when the race director will confirm the classes. So if anybody needs to move down from the pro class, they'll be moved down to rookie. Similarly, if anybody is too quick for rookie, they'll be moved up to the pro. So it's a kind of way to try and balance out the trophy hunters, basically. The glory hunters who think, if I enter in the rookie class and I beat everybody, I'm going to get a lovely little trophy no matter where I finish. No, it doesn't work like that, because at that 6 hour mark, the classes get adjusted if they see fit. And so, for example, if they see a pro kart that maybe entered as a pro kart, not quite matching the pro pace, they'll be moved down to rookie to at least give them a chance, something to fight for at the closing stage. Similarly, if a rookie's going too quickly, not having an easy trophy, not like that.
Yeah, something to spur you on later on, perhaps. Like, but on the other hand, don't team captains don't go thinking you can sandbag. The stewards and the race director will be wary of that. They will be looking out for that.
Also, you can't sandbag when you've got names like Clement Novak. It's just not possible to sandbag. It's not possible. So, so don't go for that strategy, because it might fall flat on its face. The spray being kicked up from these slick tyres doesn't actually move the water very much.
No, which is good for us, which means we can see far more clearly than if we had tyres that would much more effectively move the water out of the way. But if you're a driver out there, it can be a little bit sketchy sometimes because you really do have to chuck the cart in.
That's sorry to cut across you. That was Alves in the 19 in the Spicy Boys. Sorry, that's not Alves. That's in the 19 anyway. Trying to dive and move up the inside, going into towards hairpin 2, and I think it gained a couple of positions there. So in the end, it worked, but it looked adventurous. Yeah, that's the word I'm going to use.
Particularly brave, because there's no real flat part of them.
No.
So all the braking zones, especially in these conditions, are a little bit unpredictable in a car.
Ooh, black flag for our rookie leaders, the ditch finders. Now, we haven't been given a reason why, but that is a black flag. They will have to come into the pits. So this is a chance for Zesty Drink Racing to take over the lead, depending on what that black flag is for. We have seen a black flag for safety issues, so if there's a helmet undone, for example, that needs to be brought in, do up the helmet, and let you go. If it's for racing at the yellows, if it's for a takeout, it's a significant time penalty. So we'll have to keep an eye and see when they're released back out to track the ditch finders, but that's huge in the battle for rookies.
Yeah, the likes of the Zesty Drink or the 1322 or Senior Frogs will be quite pleased with that news, I'm sure.
Yes. If they remember which number, yeah, there we go. So now they have got the message, ditch finders, and we saw that because their driver looked straight at the digi flag. So we know they've got that message.
It's a very unfortunate message to be receiving at this stage.
It is
in the race.
But they have been told, the drivers in the briefing, that a black flag doesn't necessarily mean you've been
completely naughty.
You've been penalised. It can mean for a safety issue we have to bring you in, and that's the only way we can bring you in. Because if we start adding too many flags, especially in an endurance race where you're just so focused on getting past people, you start to see the traditional, as easy for me to say, traditional black and orange meat flag for a mechanical. You're going to be starting to think, right, hang on, what was that again? If it's just black flag means pit in, we know where we stand.
Yeah. Zesty Drink are actually only a lap behind. So in the grand scheme of things, if that even so, in the grand scheme of things, that fight is still very much on.
Yeah, it is indeed. And there is ditch finders trying to find their way into the pits with an arm raised. So that is what they've been told in the briefing to do, to warn other drivers they are peeling off into the pits. And let's see, for ditch finders, what that's going to be, whether it's going to be a talking to, whether it's an adjustment, anything of the sort. It looks like it's going to be a chat. So, nod of the head, and it is going to be away, so it is a penalty. Black flag penalty for ditch finders. So it's just a case of now, race director will signal when the cart can be released back out onto the track. it's an age. It seems like an age when you're waiting there for that penalty to be elapsed, but it has now, and ditchfinders can now rejoin onto the circuit.
Seeing a couple more track limit warnings starting to pile in as well. One of the side effects really of trying to push as much as possible in conditions like these. The car just isn't going to respond in the way that you were once, and sometimes that means taking four wheels out of the white light.
Yeah, I believe it's half a car. I could be wrong on that one. Half a car you're allowed. Beyond that, it is when you start to be in a little bit of trouble.
I mean, usually if you're going off in these conditions, you're going off fairly substantially.
Yes. Yeah, it normally seems to be the case. This is just look up the inside there from Elite Discos Racing. Wanted to try to find the move there on Team ARD. No way through that time around though. Have I said that I just absolutely love 24 hour? It's just, it rains every year, adds to that challenge. And the drivers maybe think, you know, when they're looking at the forecast a week ahead, they maybe think, hopefully it'll be dry. No, not at all. Absolutely not. It's about 24 hour, it rains.
Oh yeah.
Get used to it.
Nice move there by the Elite Discos, the inside on Team ARD. But yeah, as you say, it's a great event. Just the atmosphere around it, you notice as soon as you arrive. I mean, I was 10 minutes late getting into the commentary box because I was slightly distracted by a Cobra going around the track making a fantastic noise.
I was distracted by that same Cobra.
Yeah.
So
it's a full event here. So it's brilliant fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. And we have the pleasure of commentating over the event, and hopefully you're all enjoying wherever you're watching in the world. And hopefully you're here cheering on your favourite drivers or team. And we know a lot of you are here for Senor Frogs, but a lot of you are here for Quadrant. And I know there's plenty of people watching as well, all supporting different teams up and down the grid, which is always great to see. Give your support to the teams, because especially when we head towards the night shift, that is when they'll need them the most, because some teams will be a little bit downtrodden when it comes to the night stint. When it starts to sink in, oh, perhaps this strategy's not working, or we need a miracle here, that's when they need the support the most.
Yeah, once that initial excitement and adrenaline sort of worn off, the entire group starts to realise this is a huge task we have ahead of us. This is, you know, it's a major challenge, and that is why, even if one of the things I like about endurance racing is, even if you don't come away with the best result, just getting to the finish and just being there with your team, it is a brilliant feeling.
Yeah, it is. It is, and you know, as you say, especially if it's been a race of hardship, basically, and a race of attrition, and you just thought, I just want this race to be over. Suddenly, when it ticks down to sort of 6 hours to go, when in an endurance race, you start to think, actually, yeah, we're so close to the end. We can't give up now. No chance. And it's always great to see, because then you get that second wind, and you say, yes, we can make it. We will make it. We're going to make it to the checkered flag.
And then you spend 24 hours after the race in pain and very tired, and then you spend the day after that thinking, I didn't want that to end.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Exactly that. Speaking as I've ever done a 24-hour, which I haven't.
Haven't you?
No, never. I just thought, leave it to the experts who are out there right now. They know what they're doing, I know. I've done endurance races before, just never a 24-hour. Longest I've done is 10. So
That's still a fair old challenge.
It is, but yeah, I've never done a 24-hour. Question from you in the chat, Reeve, have you raced a Buckmore?
Years and years back.
Years back. How far are we talking?
Well, only 2021, but
that's still years.
Days.
You are technically right with years and years, but it was 3 years ago.
And I say it was. I'm not going to mention the championship. It was in a rookie event, shall we say?
Oh, good evening to Andrew Mather, who joins us from France. He couldn't be here, but he's asked, who needs cursing? We haven't actually done a lot of cursing, Andrew, as far as it goes. So yeah, we are more than willing to let you take the blame for some commentators' curses if you want to take them on board. Well, even if you're not commentating.
There's no ineligible drivers for Andrew to be annoyed at.
No.
So sorry in that instance, Andrew. But we've also seen Andrew send a picture of us, a picture of his racing escapades today in France, and it makes this look like a lovely dry summer's day in the park. That picture,
it really did.
It was just water.
It was. There was no track. It was water. That is the best way you could have put it, Reeve. Really, really good. It looks as wet as it was here in France. I disagree with you, Andrew. Considering what you showed us, I would thoroughly disagree. But yeah, it's meant to keep on raining, Andrew, until we think 10 o'clock.
I can't see a go-kart in that picture.
No, the picture you did send us, Andrew, there is no go-kart. It is just a splash of water. It's like someone dropped something into a pool of water. So yeah, Andrew was here last year. Always watching on. He said he would tune in this evening. Basically just check up on us, see if we're all behaving, which I think so far we're doing okay.
Yeah,
James says
so.
No, we're not.
Look, we're behaving. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we're behaving.
We're behaving, but Chaz isn't.
Let's see in
I
about.
thought Chaz was still here, so that's probably why James said that. Our producer James.
I think I might have to stay up and stay around for that early morning stint, the early hours, because that could be a laugh.
Well, this is the thing. I get to join Chaz at 6 a.m. and bear in mind he's just going to have to have gone through 5 hours of the night shift.
Yeah, it'll be
interesting to see how he is in the morning.
He's got a lot of hours ahead of him, to be fair.
He does. Great fun.
So it's now Nameless, the only cars on the lead lap, that being lap 326. The last lap actually fairly competitive, a 106.5, so they are still showing very strong pace 49 minutes into their stint.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of, maybe not relentless, but just consistency that you require at this stage in a 24-hour race. That will pay dividends later on. We do have a yellow sector out on track.
And it's number 18 there, who's just spinning back up the way, TRX Motorsport Academy. Yeah, you were talking about our leaders there, Nameless Motorsport. It's a stacked lineup. You've got Jack Goldsmith, Fraser Brunton, Rory O'Regan, Trent Maroney, Bo Sullivan. That is a huge lineup for an event like this. And, well, I would say, I'll bring up the message because I asked Jack about the team name. I said, Nameless, you're going to have to walk me through that one. What's all that about? And Jack, in his typical fashion, said himself and Max O'Shaughnessy wanted to have a clean slate with a name that's a bit more serious. Okay, bear that in mind, Reeve. A bit more serious, but couldn't think of a name. So we thought of Nameless instead. Black Flag for number 30 of Quadrant.
A bad day gets worse for the Quadrant squad, unfortunately. It was a logical plan when you think about it. Put maybe the less experienced drivers at the very start because they know the rain's coming. That shows good planning, good foresight. It just hasn't worked out for them, unfortunately. I think they lost a little bit too much time in that first stint, and now we're just adding insult to injury, really, isn't it, at this stage?
It's a kick in the gut whilst you're already down, isn't it? It's just a little bit not nice, but there we go. Goldsmith winning around Buckmore Park. Never happened before. No, you're right, never happened before.
Repeat there.
Yes, I think that's just to show the flag again.
Have it on the timing system twice.
Yes, that's true. I think it's a case of Quadrant maybe had the black flag show, but the gap between that looks like that Quadrant maybe never saw it because probably came up on
timing.
Yeah. By the time they saw it, they were kind of already past it, which can happen. So it's just a case of showing that on the digiflag again. It's all linked up to the timing, so once the timing goes, once it senses a car across the line, it then takes that number off the board. You used to have to do that manually. I did that manually when I was working here. At times, yeah. It gets hectic in something like this.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Having to change all the numbers, you have to make sure you keep up. And then inevitably you do miss one, and driver's like, but I only got 2 contact warnings.
Andrew raises a very good point.
Oh yes,
his commentator's curse has arrived for the Quadrant squad.
There we go.
But
Andrew doing what he does best.
Oh yes.
Good to have you with us, Andrew. Hope you're enjoying France. Hopefully it does dry up for you out there.
Seeing a very interesting opportunity being raised in the chat. I think a quick opportunity to have a brief tyre discussion. Ooh, perhaps going with commentator who's apparently a classic Ford is watching stream, which is impressive.
Yes, a whole one.
The Ford prefect asked, you have to worry about time management in car endurance racing. Do you have to in karts? Well, we had this chat with Phil, the MD of the track. On these new Dunlop tyres, they expect about 20 hours, I believe I'm correct in saying, in full dry conditions. So that means after that 20 hours, the tyre's going to start. If they're a relatively soft compound, it's going to want to start giving up. Now we are in wet conditions, which obviously keeps the tyres cooler, less speed involved. It's going to look after them a little bit better, but we do still have, as you've handily provided for us, a maintenance period for the cars as quadrants serve that black flag. And that maintenance period is going to be in the early hours of the morning, ranging from 1 in the morning to about 3:30 in the morning. I think they're going to be trying, by lots of things, we've been doing 2 karts around a similar time. They're not concrete times, they're just kind of as and when they need to pull the cart and as and when they can. And that is a chance for the cars to have everything checked over, have a bit of an inspection, check the chains, check the tyres, check that sort of thing. So these karts will be good to carry on for the entire duration of the race, especially with these wet weather conditions. It's going to be more limited to what the drivers can do in these conditions, really, than cars are capable of.
Yeah, and just to expand on what you're saying in that service stop, everyone has to have the service stop. It's a mandatory one, but also it is the same amount of time. Everybody stops the same amount of time for that maintenance stop. No matter if it takes 2-3 minutes to complete everything, you will be held for 8. I think it's 8 minutes. I might have to check up. It's 10-minute intervals, but obviously we have to then let that cart out and then bring the next one in. They are rough timings though, so it won't be fully accurate towards the end there. Oh, that's a good shot.
That's a cool shot.
That is a good shot. Make sure you get the good video. Make sure it's not in slow-mo. That takes up a lot of memory. That's all I know. That's all I know about video. And also, the video killed the radius. That's all I know. Black flag for Formula 9, number 17. Where are they in the standings right now? They're 5th, the rookies. They're currently running 14th overall. So that will be a chance for Elite Discos Racing and Spicy Boys in 16 and 19 respectively to maybe bring up a position.
Yes, still also play for in that rookie battle. Although again, still also play for in the pros as well. Still over 3/4 of the race to go. It is Nameless leading the race so far. Their lap 106.3. They are comparatively flying along compared to the rest of the field. They are in the, I'm going to say it, element.
Oh no, that's the Chaz line.
We're continuing on. That'll be the only Chaz line to continue on. I'd like to clarify. I'll just carry on that one.
That was a slide then. I think that was from TRX Motorsport Elite. It was, and the problem with sliding like that is it does, pardon the pun, wash you out to the outside. But he managed to recover that one, so that was all well and good. That's also a very good lineup there.
Yousuf.
Oh dear, Yousuf, what have you done? What have you done? Yousuf, behave yourself. You're supposed to be representing the commentators. Actually, do you know what?
He's actually represented the commentators quite well in there.
There he is.
There he is.
There's Yousuf. Watch the contact, Yousuf. Watch the contact.
Hashtag blame Yousuf, everyone.
Yeah, blame Yousuf. Blame Yousuf. It's good. Good stuff. No, how is he actually getting on out there? Let's have a
He's
look.
doing well.
Yeah, he's matching Nameless at the moment in lap times. So doing a fine job out there. Here's Yousuf bin-Suhayl.
Not on that lap time because there was a bit of contact involved, but
And
other
a little bit
than
of
that,
traffic, yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But nonetheless, doing a good job out there.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, you might think a 24-hour race, especially in the wet, maybe not the most opportunities for overtaking, but there's plenty of lapping to be done, and especially in most karting series where we don't have blue flags.
No.
There's an art to it. There's an art to lapping a kart in front of you.
Yes. Just a further question about the service stops. They're due to start at 1 AM. So we've got a long way off the service stops for now. But it's the fact that every car goes through a service stop. So that's oil, that's checking the chain, tyres get replaced as well. I think the front tyres get replaced. So just to make sure everyone is on as much as a level playing field as possible.
Number 17, that is the kart of Formula 9, that black flag they've just served, of course, and I don't think fully agree with it, possibly that.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Or they're doing the YMCA.
Yeah. Well, here's a good question. Is it a commentator's curse if it's placed on a commentator himself? That is a very good question.
I've already had an indicator fall out on the way down. I don't want anything else to happen to the car, please.
Yeah, but is it a commentator curse if we can't curse?
Oh, you mean, yes, of course.
Yousuf
Yes.
out there.
I thought it was meant in general. I think he will just curse himself.
I think it's a double one, isn't it? It doesn't cancel out. That is just a double helping. But he won't. And that's the setup for the curse. How do you say, what is Yousuf doing out there?
Collecting penalties.
Yes.
Oh, and racing.
Warnings at the moment. Can't say penalties yet. As soon as he gets one, though, straight in. Straight in there. You got your team a penalty, Yousuf. How could you?
Should we just not let him back in? Should we
No,
just let him pour at the door?
Yeah. The fact that we can take the high ground by not going out there, I'm fine with.
Yes. I haven't crashed into anyone else on track today.
Yeah. Fully just go for it. Love it. Absolutely love it. We have just over 18 and a half hours left of the race. Nameless leading Accelerate Kent Brewery by a lap at the moment. No, I don't have to.
I did half of that then.
I'm just saying how much time there is left, James. Let's see what the problem was. I'm happy.
Luckily, I've got more of these.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is great fun.
I'm loving it.
Hope you're enjoying watching along.
Yes.
Either at home or at the track.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Hopefully you haven't muted us yet. If you haven't muted us yet, that's very good. We're happy with that. We'll take that success. What if Yousuf actually gets himself into a bit of contact trouble?
I promise I won't find it funny or laugh on stream. That's an empty promise. I will laugh on stream.
I wouldn't promise that at all.
That's an arty shot.
That is a very good shot. I quite like that.
That's an album cover.
I think that's Jack Goldsmith. It looked like Jack Goldsmith, but I could be wrong. No, perhaps it wasn't. It was the light. I don't think Jack Goldsmith is out there on circuit, so I hope it was a good guess. This is where I'm going to be absolutely roasted in the chat, saying, "Oh, I can't believe you thought it was this guy." Yeah, neither can I. How foolish of me.
Sometimes I just don't risk it.
Yeah.
It's safer sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone asking, Jack in chat asking, are we going to get any dry conditions or is it going to be soggy the whole way? I reckon we're going to be greasy towards the end of the... Oh, then again, we're finishing at 2 in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah.
So let's not call it just yet. The weather, as we say, at Buckmore is unpredictable. We're certainly going to be very wet throughout the night. That is pretty much a guaranteed. Yes.
Yes, looking at the trusty weather app at the moment, it does say the rain's supposed to stop at 10 past 10 now. We'll have a bit of a break, but picks up again about 20 past 11.
So I think we're going to be at least greasy until late morning, afternoon would be your next opportunity to maybe get some faster running again.
I'll just have a quick sneak peek at tomorrow's weather, and it is rain and drizzle in the morning, so it looks like we're not getting away from these wet weather conditions, no matter how hard we try. But potentially it's going to be quite windy tomorrow as well. Wind speeds are looking at about an average of 16 miles per hour, so it could get pretty windy out there, which might help blow some of the water off the circuit. That'll be interesting if it does.
Let's have a quick check-in, shall we, with the Senior Frogs team. What they are getting on. Well, they're running very nicely in the rookies. Number 29 cars is third in the rookies at the moment, just over an hour into the stint. Everyone in the rookies at the top end at least seems to be in a fairly similar strategy. Who is that there in the Senior Frogs? I think it's the yellow black lid, is that? It's just Will N.E. It's Will N.E. It's Will N.E. in the cars. There we are, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, we're loving the questions coming in, by the way, to a couple of commentators who just about know what's going on.
Eminent professionalism.
Absolutely. Does the fact that it's wet directly count for the top speed? Absolutely, it does. You can't put the power down as early as you can in the dry. You have to take the corners much slower than you would normally do in the dry. the fact that these drivers are running slick tyres in wet weather conditions means there's so little grip out there. What little grip there is, you have to take full advantage of, and that really does sacrifice the speeds. Normally in the dry, we saw laps this morning in qualifying going into the 48s. In fact, we saw early in the race 48.8s that were set by Team Rango with red mist. We are currently now lapping in our leaders are lapping in the mid 106s. So it's costing us what, 27 seconds per lap racing in the wet right now. So yeah, it really does hamper that speed.
Yeah, that nameless car as well, the only cars in the 106. Oh no, correct me, I'm wrong. MPMC as well, also in the 106s. So well done to the number 23 crew there.
Andrew in the chat saying, is the weather unpredictable or is it predictably bad? Is it still the same rain from last year? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's the rain that's come over from France here, Andrew, from where you are right now. So we have you to thank for this, Andrew.
Yes, that is actually the same rain, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Another artsy shot. I'm liking this. It's like a David Attenborough documentary. If you're not an environmentalist, because there's 4-stroke Honda engines in the background.
Keep up the artsy shots. I love them. Absolutely love them. Yeah, it'll get more and more difficult to do as we head into the night. Yeah. But
that image had a lot of bokeh. I'm going to use technical terms that I think are vaguely correct.
Don't use my catchphrase.
Bokeh is your catchphrase. Oh, I'm going to use technical terms that are vaguely correct. Is that
yeah, that's the one. No, never heard that word you said before. So
I think it's to do with photography.
I am going to leave
Google.
That with you.
We already learned what our no nav was.
Yes.
By the way, he's on it. I did some. I feel like Dictionary Corner on Countdown. There's another word as well, which also means a group of 9, and it's so unpronounceable. It's incredible.
Okay, well we'll call you Reeve Dent from now.
Reeve Dent. It's an need.
Careful with your pronunciations here.
That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, I'm not pronouncing that.
There we are.
No chance. Thank you, Reeve.
There we are. That was a crucial plot line in this 24-hour race.
Yes.
That we started early on that I thought needed resolving.
Absolutely. It's what you all came to see. None of you thought anything. You know, you all thought this was going to happen. So that will be yellow flags going through Simon Sweep at the moment because we have a little bit of, well, I would say, yeah, it's track work because someone has displaced those plastic blocks that are supposed to keep everybody away from the apex and riding the curve too much.
So, Andrew Mather in the YouTube chat has just said, no, blame the French air traffic controllers, and then said, that's a DDM approved statement. Now, if I had 50p for every time I've heard Andrew Mather utter the words, no, blame French air traffic controllers, I'd have like £1.50, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened at least 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Hard charging through.
Hashtag blame Yousuf, hashtag Andrew Mather doesn't like air traffic controllers.
That's it. We're learning important lessons tonight. Accelerate Kenbury Racing. That looks like it's Mark Puxty behind the wheel now in the blue suit, white lid. He is the heavyweight champion in the kart racer champions. That's the best RC shot we've seen so far, I think. Lovely, lovely. Keep up the good work. Is there
so artsy it broke another camera.
Is that the competition, James? Last year we had how many dogs could we find out on circuit. This year it's like which one of our cameras can get the most artsy shot. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Laura's doing it.
Laura doing a cracking job, as ever.
Laura doing amazing. Thank you, Laura. Keep up the artsy shots. Black flag though for number 15, Fat and Furious.
They certainly will be furious now.
Yeah. I mean, it depends what the black flag is for. But also, we've got on our timing screens, it might appear on the screen very shortly, it's a black flag for number 8. That's Borough 11 NFS. So they're currently running 5th at the moment. There is the confirmation of the black flag on your screens. So they have also been summoned to the pit lane, running in 5th place overall. And they're not far away from their pit window either. They're an hour and 52 into their stint, so that won't be good news for them at all. There is Will and E then in the Senor Frogs kart. And as you mentioned before, they're running 4th in class at the moment. And they are a lap down. They're not quite a lap down. I would say they're about 40 to 50 seconds down right now on 1322 Racing Northeast.
We'll Yeah, I think we're seeing very good consistency from the rookies at the moment. It's the pros who seem to be picking up the black flag seemingly at the top end of the field.
Don't say it.
Fighting tooth and nail by the looks of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it's always great to see. Always great to see. And thank you as well for everyone watching along. I hope you're being entertained. It's what we're here to do, isn't it, Reeve? Bring you through this Buckmore 24 hours and see who comes out on top. Waving through the reflection. That's just your bonus points there. Fantastic. That's brilliant.
This stream is going to end up at the Cannes Film Festival, I think, next year as
oh yeah. Submit it. It will win.
Black and white.
So that was I might horribly mispronounce the same, so I do apologise in advance. But that was Drve Suji in the Spicy Boys, who is looking to maybe take over. I think it is Aldas out in the cart at the moment, out there in the Spicy Boys, because I was speaking to him before the race. All of his team redesigned their lids, got new liveries for the lids, painted them and whatnot. His is still in the shop, so he's decided to go for a white lid, put some red tape along it, bring out sort of a Senna-esque look about it, and it works. He says from a distance it looks great. Don't look at it up close. He said.
This is what happens after camera people film cars around the track for 6 hours. Yes, I'm hoping we don't lose Laura at some point during that, actually, because she'll be on the M26, just kind of found a sparrow or something like that.
Found a sparrow M26. It's a lengthy way away. Is it? I don't know.
Seems to be quite close. It was the last motorway I seemed to be on. I don't know if I went a weird way here.
Well, that's weird, because
I'm from the north, you see. We haven't really invented the motorway.
Oh, I see. Not even the M1.
Well, we can use the M1.
The first M ever.
Well, for me, today it was M53, M56, M6, M5, M42, M25.
M6 is a motorway, so you've heard of one before. Like, it's so clearly a motorway.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much of a motorway that put the M6 toll in.
What a great invention.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Less said about the better, right?
Great traffic light. Still seeing lots of Team 1322 hype. They'll probably have used the M6. We're into motorway chat now. Everyone, what's your favourite motorway?
Oh no! Favourite motorway? Oh no!
Yeah, it's still too early to be talking about the future of breakfast bars or whatever.
But now you've asked the question, you will get answers now.
Oh yeah,
so
I'm hoping.
Oh dear me. Oh, I realised M6 was the first motorway.
Yes, thank you, Jack, in the chat. The North do bridges, not motorways.
Well,
still very Victorian.
If they're not motorways, who put the M in front? That's all I want to know. That is all I want to know. And if you're just tuning in and you're listening to us talk about motorways,
this is a 24-hour kart race.
It is. It is, and we're having fun. And we hope you're having fun too.
We are actually getting plenty of motorway recommendations.
We are. Well, initially I thought we were going to get UK, but we're actually getting from down under some suggestions as well, so that's pretty good. We'll see now.
A little bit. I haven't quite got the fuel in the car.
Side-by-side action here. This is the Zesty Drink team, who Tom said specifically to me, just as he left here, he did visit us in the commentary box. He said, please don't commentate and curse us. I said no promises. But we're watching them on now as they make their way down towards paddock, as that is the 24, so that's 1322 Racing Northeast. So they've got the 13 with them, the only way is Brentwood, and they are locked in that battle right now, as we see maybe a little bit of conversation to be had on the outskirts in the pit lane. Now the driver you see there in the Red Bull outfit there, man, you might know him as streamer, Dirk Chocolate, which is undoubtedly one of the best streamer names I've ever come across.
Oh yes.
But Dickens and Goma will be shortly taking that cart over. Is normally known as Dirk Chocolate, but very nice guy. Founder of the Creator Series, the F1 23 game, and he will be hoping that he can put those Creator Series woes behind him as he'll take to the track like a duck to water. I even presented myself. I even presented myself as saying that. Like a dirk to water. It was right there, Reeve. It was right there.
That is better because it's a good pun and I approve, but it's worse because you said it out loud.
I know. I know. I'm angry. I'm proud of myself. Oh dear. Chat will think we're all falling apart. Oh no, we're only just getting
No,
started.
chat are still very much focused on motorways. It's fine.
That's
Say
true.
whatever we want.
That's true. It'll all be lost in motorway chat. I don't know how Dirt's going to feel that I've used that name as a pun. But I hope he likes it.
Because it's like a frog to water. There was that one as well.
Yeah, oh, we've used frog to water.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I think that's a couple of times now. But feel free to use it, because you haven't used it yet.
Yeah, we've got to come up with. We've got plenty of time to come up with some new and exciting puns that everyone's going to love.
I've actually got a note down when I said that, because I want to show Dirk later. Not just so he can groan at it, because he'll have missed it.
Oh. Will Dirk chocolate melt under the pressure?
Ooh, very good.
That's a good one.
Very good.
Magpie.
Oh dear. We saw in the number 4 kart there, Mark Puxley, and he is the kart race of champions, heavyweight champion. I got the fantastic opportunity to commentate on that fantastic 3-4 kart battle towards the end of that one. And yeah, for someone who's been through a lot in recent years, went through to hospital a couple of times, in and out of hospital for a year, in fact, was out of racing for a year, and has come back stronger than ever. He really has been putting in some fantastic performances. Yeah, Mark is just a very nice guy off the track as well. Always plenty of time for Mark, as he's out there in the number 3. Now, the number 3 is currently in 12th place right now. And we're watching them head their way through, Toby and the Bandits, as they made their way, tipping their way through in towards Garda. So, I tell you what, there is a car we haven't seen in a while, and it is nameless. Now,
Yes.
there's normally the trick is, if you don't normally see the leader for a long period of time, that's normally a
news for
good
the
sign.
leader,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the leader, because there's been nothing of note. But right, James had a go at me for saying, here's how much time there is left. Now we're showing you how much time there is left twice.
Oh, excellent job on matching up the stream time.
James is going to just keep this camera here now. This is the stream.
So what's our job now? Is it to just occasionally say what time is
Reeve,
left?
I reckon this is going to change to 34. We'll never know it switched away. We'll never know if it switched to 34. Unbelievable scenes. Oh, I can't believe it. What a time. What I was saying though, we haven't seen Nameless in a while. And running out there in the number 11. And yeah, normally it's a good thing, it's a good sign for the leader if we haven't seen them for a while. So where are they roughly out in circle? I think they should be heading towards the end of the first sector short. So
They have just headed through the S's.
Okay, so they're somewhere in that pack, and I'm not seeing them. Is that them at the top? The number 11.
Yeah, I think that is.
It's 11 and 17 is the one that always catches me out. Let's have a look as they make their way through in towards.
They're heading through Garda as we speak.
That's 13. That's 17. So that was 17. So I wasn't losing my mind there. I will. I'll say I slightly lost my mind, but not all of it. So it's all good. It's all fine and dandy.
Contact warning coming in for Toby and the Bandits there, living up to their name potentially. Seeing everyone kind of hovering around the 107s now. What have you just seen?
I've seen in the chat, less carts, more time updates. Your wish is my command.
Well, if you look at the top left of the screen, and maybe
No,
use
that's
zoom.
We need confirmation. That's
Yes,
what we
this
need,
is
isn't
true.
it? That is what we need.
It's getting more and more like Countdown by the second is that I'm Reeve dead.
Wow.
We're just going to be looking at the clock.
Really dead. What does that make me then? Yeah, try to come up with a pun with my name.
I can't remember who presents Countdown.
Do you know what? Neither can I. At least right now, anyway.
Not Richard White.
Oh dear. There it is!
Hey!
Time update, there we go. Right, okay, Reeve, do you reckon it will hit 40? Oh,
Yay!
Thank goodness. We can all move on.
I was going to possibly give
time
a
updates.
slightly more useful time update, if that's permitted.
No, that was a perfect amount of time updates.
What I was going to say is everyone at the moment, not only in the top end, but a few cars in the midfield and below midfield as well, are running in the mid to low, maybe even high occasionally, 107s. Nameless have just got to prove me wrong with a 106. But what we're starting to see is as more and more cars get kind of halfway into their stint, they're getting into that rhythm now, and they're all getting fairly close in terms of time. So
Now, I think, and I'll be happy to correct it wrong, I think that's Bo Sullivan in the kart. I recognise just underneath that sort of wetsuit is the black and red outfit I think he has. I think that's Bo. I'm not 100% though. But yeah, saw in the chat there, big shout out to Marshall. Absolutely.
Yes.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. They truly are, and to use that word, they are baffling the elements out there. And it's one of those where they're not moving, and the flags just in case the lights go out. And they are briefed, just in case the lights do go out, that they are to stop racing and pull to one side. Because of course no lights, you can't see where you're going. And the flags are there as a backup really to the lighting system that we see on the posts, that you'll see out on all 8 posts that are our replacement flags. If they fail, then we use the flags instead. So we don't use them both, we just use one or t'other. There is Nameless though, at the top of the order.
Might still be Nameless, but no longer Sightless, which is nice.
Yes. Yeah. I like the irony behind the name Nameless.
H.M. Riley.
That's terrible. You win. That's awful. I love it. H.M. Riley.
I hope no one in the chat has access to Photoshop.
Why must you bait? I don't understand. Why would you dangle the carrot like that? You have to find a picture of me first.
I mean, the one that's just posted on his LinkedIn and Facebook for all of you interested. Got my face.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Chaz is in there.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we're just coming up with our countdown names because it appears to have kind of dissolved into countdown.
We've got Reeve.
I'm researching things. There's a clock on the screen.
Yeah.
So
it is.
That might be copyrighted. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting things in our ear that the rest of the stream is.
Yes. Deary. Thank you all, as always, thank you all for tuning in.
Putting up with us.
Yes.
With our professional commentary that we will continue on.
I was just about to say thank you for putting up with us, but no, it's a mega job from the production team here, and hopefully you do enjoy the action there. I hope you're not as down and out as some unused seating chairs. There's the number 25 though, who's facing the wrong way. That's Ditchfinders, who were the class leaders, have had, I don't know, they were facing the wrong way on the exit of Garda then. So whether they had a helping hand or whether that was just on their own, unfortunately, we never saw. What we do know is they had to recover from facing the wrong way. And that's our class leaders in the rookies. So that
cost them 10 seconds by the look of things. So I believe they're still out in the lead of the rookies for the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out.
But it's a closer margin.
Yeah, it'll be a much closer margin now.
Yeah,
for sure.
That rookie fight, as we've said a couple of times in the past hour now, is persisting on even at this phase in the race when usually you've got a bit of a diminuendo almost in the action. It's still...
That's great stuff. There's the 14 machine. That's Zesty Drink Racing making their way through out of Henry's Bend.
Great reference, by the way. I love it.
It's a great reference. Fantastic reference. They're second in the rookies right now. They are currently 24 seconds behind our rookie class leaders in ditch runs. But of course, you said 10 seconds. It's absolutely 10 seconds there. I wonder what goes through.
It was just all.
It was just all up
brain,
there.
really. It was nothing to do with the screens and left of me that explicitly stated the gap closed by 10 seconds.
I was going to say, Suji has been standing there for a while now because he hasn't actually gone out in the cars yet. And I specifically remember seeing about 10 minutes ago in the pit lane, he hasn't actually jumped in yet. Dab Motorsport. I mean, we mentioned, if you are just tuning in for us, and welcome along, good to have you with us. Dab Motorsport, last year's winners overall, currently 4th place, they ran out of fuel just before their first stop.
Painful sight. Well,
it was.
Technically not before their first stop. Technically during their first stop, I guess you'd say. They made they timed it beautifully, went in just as the car was pretty much on fumes, went into the pit lane too hotly, she would say, go back out. That wasn't safe. It's not a controlled pit stop. Go back around and try it again. Yeah. And on that attempt going back around to come back in, the car ran out of petrol. So had to bring out the push cart, and it was a painful sight to behold.
Yeah.
With each of the race being
And it
very long.
It cost them 2 laps. So the fact is, how are their lap times looking against our race leaders? So they're Davmo's for in the 1 minute 8 flats, and Nameless have just posted 106.7. So right now, Dav Motorsport consistent in the 108s, but unfortunately they are not as quick as the cart ahead, but quicker than the cart behind. And what that does is create a slight bit of race of your own territory.
I haven't been on camera. I thought we wouldn't have to make people endure that sight, but here we are. Hello.
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 This is us.
I'm still wearing my coat because I still think it's quite cold in here, even though everyone else is absolutely boiling, apparently.
And I'm wearing a jumper because apparently that's who I am as a character. But there we go.
Yes, the mustard jumper is a must.
Oh,
it is powering me through.
A mustard. Oh, terrible. Terrible. We're here for the foreseeable. You have me till 11, and Reeve, you're here till
midnight. Midnight.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's an hour of just me later on, which is...
We call that the witching hour.
Yeah, I apologise in advance.
Oh, it's all good. Thank you ever so much for joining along as well. Hopefully you're having a great time back at home, wherever you're watching the race. We are just closing into the hour 7 mark, and there is the...
I'm liking that.
Oh, I love it. Love it. That's the way of communication for Toby and the Banners. They don't have a radio system. They are just communicating through whiteboards, which is, you know, that is how you get a message from. Who needs radio with clear and concise communication? Put a whiteboard, put a number on it, and give it a 2 to 3 word message. It's all you need.
Usually in my 24-hour racing experience, that whiteboard ends up not really having a PG message on it at least halfway through the night.
Yeah.
So
that's when the sort
note to the stream director, maybe don't do that at some point.
Oh. Get the bourbons open. We deserve them. Well, yes, that's a good idea.
But we can't feed you.
Yeah.
Give it a go. We can see it.
That's a very bad idea. Very bad. I'm gonna dispel that idea from your head. We'd love to, but they're actually Yousuf's, and I'm not sure how.
They're not. You know them. Yousuf claimed them. I bought them.
What?
They are mine. That big
yours?
bag I bought from the boot of my car is.
Oh, they're yours. Well,
snatched
all right.
bourbons.
Free for all then. Reeve, have your bourbons.
I don't want them now.
All right.
I'm very full. I had a lovely burger from the cafe downstairs.
I can't believe I offered you your own biscuits and you declined. That's just...
We do have 2 other packets of my own biscuits open in front of me. I'm here like Augustus Gloop.
What have these bourbons ever done to you, right, for you to reject them like that? That's unbelievable.
There were also
Reeve.
4 packets of biscuits in that originally, however, one of the packets didn't survive the journey down.
That's completely irrelevant and you know it. Stop changing the subject.
It's the cafe at the Buckmore Park. I should shout them out. Fabulous. The food was brilliant and they are working late this evening. And it's good to show that everyone is putting in a good effort for 24 hours.
Well, I mean, it is great food. I haven't had anything yet, so I'm running. It's okay.
Oh,
I'm okay.
You have the bourbons then?
No, I'm not having the bourbons, but I would like to. I would like to add that to the record. But, they stare at me. Ah, we're inside now. We're inside, having a roam around in the cafe, and as you mentioned, the great food there. As we'll see, this is where most of the hub happens, the hubbub, anyway. And lots of food, lots of belongings, and good, happy, smiling faces on the most part. That is what you want to see, isn't it? Oh, someone's even got the track map up as well.
Oh, wow.
That's it. That's how you know they're taking this seriously.
I think pointing at the cafe as in like you are here.
I think so, yeah. We are here. We want to be over there. No, that's absolutely right. No, it's great. When the track map comes out, you know that is some serious debrief there. Then go on, give us ways. There you go. There you go. There we go. Eat, drink, cart, repeat.
Sounds good.
That is how we live. That is how we live. What does the cafe offer? Well, Reeve is in a very good stead to offer their menu. What did you have?
I had a cheeseburger.
Ooh, cheeseburger. That's a good choice. That is carton food. Oh, James had shepherd's pie. What, from the calf? Brilliant. Love that. I think Laura's here now. Oh, there's a spin up going in towards the S's there. Just about managed to recover that one. I think that was that kart 14?
Not quite sure, but that was quite an opportune place actually. Of all places to spin out, that was timed quite well. Didn't have to wait too long to rejoin safely there.
The spin was signed, sealed and delivered. Laura's found us now. I'm scared. Oh no.
This is the least artsy shot that Laura's done in a while.
This is a poor effort, Laura. I've got to be honest with you. No art here, unfortunately.
I haven't had makeup done or anything.
No. This was raw as it gets. But
they can see the biscuit stash.
Oh no, you can see. No, we've been exposed now. This is going to get weird now. This is going to get very weird. But you can see James over there.
So
give us a wave, James, our producer over there. There you go. You get us a little bit of behind the scenes here. As we see, look, there is fruit. Look, production are very good. They've got the fruit over there. We've got the biscuits, so you can tell the help is there. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I can't eat it.
No, well, not really. No, we'd advise not. But there you go. But behind the scenes here in the commentary box,
riveting stuff.
Riveting, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So a sneak peek of us. In the least artsy shot. Sorry, Laura, that was the least artsy shot, I'm afraid.
We went from the heights of the cafe to the lows of Buzz.
Oh yeah. Got to get better shots. Has to improve.
Oh, someone's pointed out was breaking it. How did fruit sneak into the commentary box? That's not.
I just said it. I just said there's fruit in the production. Did you not? It's like you don't even listen to me, Reeve.
So I was distracted by the biscuit.
Well, it is what it is. But I did point out there was fruit there. See, production know that fruit gets you through. Right, so we've just been told the driver in Nameless is Fraser Brunton.
That explains the pace.
Yeah, I was right. Was I right? That doesn't normally happen. I don't know how to feel. There you go. I'll take that as a victory. Anyway, yes, we've had it confirmed. It is Fraser Brunton in Nameless leading the way. And, well, my goodness, is Fraser quick. My goodness. He's very quick in the dry. And when it comes to wet weather, in recent years, I think he's improved a lot now, but in recent years, he has struggled with the wet. And it's very weird because there's nothing on Fraser, and that's why. That's why he does struggle, because normally with some drivers who've got a little bit more weight about, some of the taller drivers will carry a little bit more weight. That happens to help with the traction in the wet.
Yeah, you can lean over and
exactly
press, add a little bit of downforce to the wheel that is under than most.
And that's where Fraser's at a disadvantage then, because he can't effectively shift the weight like other drivers can. And it does get a little bit treacherous, but he's doing a great job out there, leading the way, keeping that gap up. He lost 0.4 of a second to the only way is Brentwood on that last lap, but he did have a little bit of lappery to deal with there. But it's all getting very crowded. That's just outside our commentary box there. So that's on our little gantry there. You can see there is cover, and there's a lot of people using the radios at the top there, because that's the best part. That's the best place you can get the signal that covers pretty much all of the circuit.
Yes, I'm sure teams in the run-up to Sven have spent hours and hours trialling out fancy radio systems. You can get all sorts these days. You can have ones that run via Discord and.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I love the fact that I think it was. Someone's going to have to remind me of the race director saying for the Le Mans 24 hours, but it was when we had to do the Le Mans virtual, and we had race control using Discord as the sort of base, the sort of radio base for race control between teams and between drivers. And actually, Le Mans loved it so much that they made it their preferred method of communication from there on in, even in motorsport Le Mans. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So all communication has to be done through Discord. Isn't that great?
Yeah, you just have a soundboard. I mean,
yeah.
Like, if you disagree with the steward,
you just put a soundboard in. Well, no, you just have the steward's room, and you just have the soundboard on the metal pipe clanging. There you go. As you enter.
Can't hear you.
Oh, we have fun here. We have now passed through 6 hours worth of racing. We are at the top of an hour, James. I have to point out.
That's flown by.
It has, hasn't it? It really has. Nameless then are at the top of the standings then. The only way is Brentwood is in second place with Accelerate Kentbury Racing rounding up the top 3. Dab Motorsport in 4th place. It's Borough 11 NFS in 5th place. EKS All-Stars in 6th place with TRX Motorsport Elite in 7th. Then 8th place and leader of our rookies class is Ditch Finders in number 25. 9th place and second in class is the number 14 of Zesty Drink Racing. 10th place And 8th in class in the pros is Team ALD. Then we have 11th place in 3rd place in the rookies, 1322 Racing Northeast. 12th place in Kart 29 and 4th place in Senior Frogs. They're in 12th place, and then 13th place is the number 3 kart of Toby and the Bandits, and that's the sort of top end of the order as we head into another hour. It's hour number 7, and there's Yousuf bin-Suhayl getting a move done there. That there is the quadrant breakout room, and someone's having a good time there with the headband and everything. Love to see it. Give us a wave. There you go. There you go. Love to see it.
I'm seeing a distinct lack of biscuits, though.
Yeah. Maybe you should give them some biscuits on your way through.
Yeah, we'll have to donate.
Spirits are higher than still in quadrant, which is always good to see, because they've had a tough old time.
They have indeed.
Tough old time there. Yeah,
their plan didn't quite work out.
No. Well, Arif did say to Yousuf in sort of the pre-race build-up, it's a last question mark challenge. So far they've got to 25th. But you know what? How long have we got left in this race? Plenty of time to gain up some lost ground. We'll see how they get on in that. But when it comes to sort of 6 hours to go, 5 hours to go, the clock starts ticking down in single digits. You start to realise where you're racing position. You start to realise, okay, this is our spot. We're racing for this. And
speaking of what people are racing for, which you just mentioned, sorry to interrupt.
No, please
6 hours are in. It's time to start reassessing.
Yes.
Which teams are classified as rookies and which teams are classified as pros.
Yes. Yes, and we'll see if there are any changes. We'll have to keep an eye out for them. Now, 1 to 13, when they started this race, are all pros. That's how they start. So this is when it starts to get a little bit interesting, if teams actually change over to rookie class. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if there are any changes. There might be no changes really. Absolutely zero, but I'm not in control of that decision.
I think, just for a laugh, I think we should put the Senior Frogs up into pros. I think they've been doing far too well.
Yeah, just the Senior Frogs.
Yeah, they've had a brilliant.
No, they have. And they've had their fair share of drama, especially last year where they had the NASA panel, I think, on the car actually came up. So they had to come into the pits and actually get a replacement there. So a very unscheduled stop to repair. Yeah, they lost a lot of time. They still managed to do a great job and kept the spirits high. That was the main thing. Calyx, I think, was actually keeping the spirits high at that point as well. Yeah, it's great to have them along. They're always doing a great job, to be fair.
We are being screamed at in the chat, so please answer the pivotal question: what's our favourite supermarket is? They're assuming Tesco because they've seen the Tesco bid biscuits.
I would prefer not to answer that question.
Oh, it's a very personal question.
Well, I mean, it's not personal. It's just a case of, they're all pretty expensive now.
Yeah, they are. They're all depressing places.
So that is why none of them are my favourite.
I like Tesco for the cheap fuel. But I'm going to go particularly middle class here.
Uh-oh, don't do it.
And this kind of blends.
Don't say it.
This kind of blends into our motorway.
You're from the north. Don't say it.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be burnt at the stake. But this kind of blends into our motorway and service station chat we were having before. M&S purely full. You go into a service station, you get the ham and mozzarella wrap. Oh my god.
Terrible.
Like, the camera actually gave up.
It did. It didn't like that. I didn't like it. It was just not. You said that, and the whole world stood still. My goodness. You have some power, Reeve, and you decided to waste it on M&S service stations. My goodness.
Ham and mozzarella wrap is worth it.
I don't know. All the love for Lidl. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I'm glad the pivotal questions are being answered here. We need the pivotal questions. They need to be answered. That's it. We have had a change of position. TRX Motorsport Elite are now past Borough 11 NFS. And that is because the number 8 is in the pits. I'm glad I spotted that before I all went, oh my goodness, I can't believe we missed it. No, they picked in. There is Senior Frogs, and that's Willany, who's about to jump out of the car. A fuel stop to be done, and they're all in matching kit. And is that a bit of an intent from Willany? Or is that just a case of just making sure he gets out of there? Have to take a close look and see who's about to jump into the Senior Frogs. because they've all coordinated their colours this year. They're all in white suits, that fluoro green lid. The only problem is now you can't tell between them.
No, I think we're just going to have to kind of whittle it down as to who we've had racing for them already.
Yes.
So I think this might be the last driver to not race. Maybe it might be 2 more.
I think it might be 2 more. Because we've had Matt out there. I don't think we've seen Chris out there. That didn't look like Chris, to be fair. Have we seen Josh out there? It's, yeah, when you're 6 hours into a race, you'll start to think, who have we seen out there? I'm sure chat will correct us in no time at all, who we have seen. What have we got out there? We have got, just having a look at some close battles out on track, and I think our closest battle right now is the battle for the lead of the rookie class. It's 9 seconds between them. That is our closest battle out on track. Yeah, and that looks like the rain has actually got heavier.
Very much so. It has got heavy. You can see there as you go towards the inside of the track, the car's pretty much fully aquaplaning there, so just skids over on those slick tyres. A little wiggle of the steering wheel to gain some control back. But yeah, that battle for the rookie lead, of course, they were brought closer a few laps ago with that instant for the ditch finders. They nearly found a ditch, which was very appropriate.
On brand.
But Zesty Drink Racing on the past couple of laps looked like they were struggling for pace a little bit potentially, so they seem to, that gap seems to have built up ever so slightly.
Yeah. Chat's made a good point actually. It probably is going to be Chip in these wet weather conditions. He's shown previously that he can be very good in the wet, so it makes sense if it's Chip that goes out there in these very treacherous conditions. And the lap times have actually started to increase. I mean, we're still in the mid 107s for Nameless, but we're in sort of 108s, 109s. Yeah, so the rain is getting heavier out on circuit, and it's frustrating for drivers sometimes. But that's sadly what happens. I've just had we've seen a question in the chat there. What happens if there were to be a red flag? If there's a red flag, time doesn't get stopped. We carry on. So it's just a case of if that does happen, the time continues. So keep an eye on that, of course, but we don't want red flags. We don't want red flags, not Charles.
I mean, it's easy to say just a bit of water while we're here in the warm, dry commentary box.
Yeah,
just a bit of water, come on.
Just a bit of water.
Oh,
yeah, as you say, you know, we've got the least demanding job. We've got, you know, we're up here in the warm, making everyone jealous. We have no right to say, Reeve. We'll make ourselves enemies of the drivers soon. They won't want to talk to us anymore.
It wasn't the choice at supermarkets in the end. It was the...
Yeah, that was what tipped over the edge.
Yeah. Well, there was a question asked about what's your favourite race. I'm not even going to answer. That's everyone tonight. With my answer.
I just love this shot because you see some drivers take it nice and easy through there, and others just want to mash the throttle pedal, get the back end out, and just have a smile on their face as they do it. And I live for that. There's taking the right line, and there's going sideways with a massive smile on your face.
Oh yeah.
One of them is clearly slower, and it's clearly taking the right line.
I think the commentators have to sit in a shower with the fan on. Hopefully not together. It's Chat who calls Kieran love.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to Chat.
Yeah. For good or for bad, anyway. Yeah. No, it's maybe off camera, eh? Give us some dignity, at least.
Dignity.
I know. We lost it 4 hours ago. I understand.
Someone asking what the favourite biscuit in the comment box is. Well, you've missed biscuit chat now. We're well past biscuit chat.
Yeah. We've had motorways, we've had biscuits, we've had clock watch.
What cars you drive, the reliable ones.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. No, it's all good. This is what I love about an endurance race. It's just a case of we get to a point where everybody's in their own groove and we just get to entertain. That is, if you are
attempt to.
Yeah, I was going to say attempt to is probably the more accurate word there. But once again, if you are watching along, watching the stream, supporting your favourite team of drivers, it's great to have you along with us. And maybe this is your first ever time watching an endurance race, in which case we hope we kept you up to date. Because that's the main thing. There's nothing worse than you know, coming into a race and you're just completely overwhelmed with what on earth is going on. So hopefully you're up to speed, and hopefully you can pretty much get to grips with our racing action here at the Buckmore Park 24-hour race, our 5th running of the event. First up in 2019 as a full live stream event, and we've had you know, very much many good drivers pass through in these 24 hours over the past 6 years. It's been great fun, great to be a part of, and I'm so happy to say that I've been here for most of them, which is just, it's been great just over the years. But every single time it's rained. Every single time.
I don't think I've ever been to the Buckmore circuit outside of 24 without it raining.
It's just not possible.
I've also been at the Buckmore circuit on beautiful sunny days,
yes.
23 degrees, but it still rains.
Yes. Oh, someone saying it, taking this commentary team over Sky. I'm sorry to break it to you. I think Sky have won up to us on this, because Crofty is pretty good. Let's face it, he is pretty good.
I mean, like I say, our stream direction rivals Sky. They're doing a cracking job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The camera crew out there actually on it, and they're also having to face the elements. They haven't got a mention from us yet. The Marshal's got one. I think our camera crews have to get a mention on there as well, because they're battling the elements. It's been raining since for nearly 2 hours now, and it hasn't relented. And especially the camera operator there. You can see the orange hide. There's just no protection from the weather there. This is absolutely none. Right, okay, a lamp. Great. I'm sure whoever's down there is so happy about that.
I think the same person who's asked what cars we drive is now asked what colour cars we drive. I think someone's trying to steal our cars.
Yeah. No more questions. This exhibit is closed.
Yeah. To be fair, I will say red and silver. That doesn't really narrow it down.
No.
I think we're safe.
No, well, unless either of us have a red or silver car.
I do have a red and silver.
Oh, I see. Oh, I thought you answered red and silver for both of us.
But there's a few silver cars about, so I think
not enough stopwatch cameras. No, we've passed clock watch. We already saw the timer go to 18:33:40. We don't need to see it again.
I think the only time we're going to see clock watch again is if we literally collapse.
Yeah. Or you ask.
I don't think.
Or you ask Chaz very nicely when he comes back. Even then, he'll be like, "What on earth is clock watch?"
Now, the people here trying to steal my car, trust me, you don't want to steal my car.
Banter.
It's not worth it.
Banter. Don't say anything more than that.
The indicator fell out on the way. There's no point.
Well, yeah.
It's held together with duct tape.
What's your favourite parking spot? Asking for a friend. Stop with the car questions. This exhibit is closed. I don't know.
We just started getting asked about our cars, and now it's kind of devolved into our cars are being nicked.
Yeah. It is what it is, you know. We had a good time. I liked my car. How many teams?
Train tickets are cheap at least.
How many teams have reliability problems? Well, because this is a brand new fleet of cars, so we should say 0. But if there are reliability problems, it's a case of there are spare parts, and hopefully the problem gets sorted very quickly. But there is a service stop, and every team has a service stop, a mandatory one. They have to visit. They get called in when it is their time to have that service stop, in which case they get the oil checked over and changed, they get the chain lubed up, and they also get the front tyres changed. I believe it's the front tyres changed. They take a lot of abuse around this track.
Yes.
So that happens to every single team. So they all get that, and that starts from 1 AM. So that is all teams get that. So that is, of course, keeping on top of reliability, because the tyres won't last. These tyres won't last the full race. They will have to be changed. At least the front tyres will.
The chat is not usable at this point.
Well, yeah.
Apart from someone raising the very good point of, the chicken nuggets in the car are worth more than the car.
Stop trying to dox us, chat. It's not going to happen. I mean, I phrased that as a challenge, and I instantly regretted it. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Yes, the service stops, I believe, I think they were 2 to 3 AM last year. There are more teams this year. so we have to, I think, started earlier to finish at around about the same time. So I think it's a case of they start at 1 AM, due to start, that's when the first car to be called in. And then we continue 2 by 2 until all the service stops are completed. And with the service stops, there was someone skidding off there. That looked like the number 9 to me.
For a second, I thought that was a pit entry. I thought that was a very, very spiky